All right, so we are live. What up, everybody? Welcome back to an episode of the Game Drain with your boy Ham Solo, Matt Likes Games, Twan, and Hard Days Mike. We are here to talk a little bit about some gaming news, what we've been playing as of lately, and just talk about some random stuff that's kind of been happening in gaming as of lately. So let's go on ahead and get into what we've been actually doing as of lately. It's been kind of a busy week for myself. I'm assuming it has for Matt as well. Mike's probably just playing same old Doom, and
I've been playing
Antoine
some other
is
games.
look
Doom,
at
sure.
Mike playing
Yeah.
other games. I mean, I didn't
I'm
think
playing
they
Doom right
existed.
now, but I am playing other games.
And then Twan's over here doing more than all of us because he's got the new PlayStation VR. He's supporting a great cause, which is just
Jim Ryan's bank account.
Not.
Absolutely. But anyways,
your mind's like clapping right now.
He's funding the next Horizon game.
let's go on ahead and get into it. First and foremost, I want to get to Mike first and see what he's been up to, and then we'll go around. So,
Get
Mike.
Doom right out of the way.
Well, I'll obviously Doom, but I'm going to talk about I am playing Cyberpunk again, just to try it on the new rig. Runs fantastically. But that game's fantastic. I love Cyberpunk so much. I'm kind of sad though because I have like a great memory, so I fucking remember every little side quest, every little gig. I get like excited. I'm like, oh, I remember this one. I remember this one. I remember this one. But it's so fun that I don't really care. Game is gorgeous. It's kind of crazy. I wonder what they're going to do when they switch to Unreal, right, Matt? Aren't they switching to Unreal, Matt? Cyberpunk devs?
I know.
Yeah, CD Projekt Red is doing The Witcher and that.
Yeah, they're doing that in Unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the next Witcher too.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm definitely interested in to see where that goes. Anyways, yeah, The Witcher's The Witcher. Well, that is a great game, but yeah, I love Cyberpunk. It is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't really know what else I've been playing on the side of that. I mean,
have you played the DLC yet? Because there's DLC
for what?
Released for Cyberpunk now, right?
No,
it's not released yet.
DLC released?
Not released.
It's not out yet.
Okay, I thought because it got announced a while ago. It feels like
it got announced, but they never even gave a date for it. All we know is it's this year sometime.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that because it sounds because they normally release a bunch of DLCs, but it sounds like they're putting like all their eggs into one giant DLC. Maybe who the fuck knows? Shut your fucking mouth, Matt. Just talk about my rig for a quick sec, dude. That game runs so well.
I'd rather not.
Matt, I'm gonna hurt you. But yeah, it runs so well. Psycho ray tracing is fucking nuts. Like everything is like self-lit. And it looks gorgeous. It's a really beautiful game. It's a shame that it took like 2 generations of hardware to get it to a playable state, but yeah, it's pretty, real pretty like, and frame generation works fantastic. But yeah, other than that, Returnal. I love Returnal, but Jesus Christ, I don't have the fucking patience right now for Returnal.
Yeah, it could definitely get to you, that's for sure. Especially that first boss. Like I'm pretty sure a lot of people threw controls at that.
Fucking Frank is a bitch. He has temper tantrums. You start to beat his ass and he starts stomping the fucking ground. He's like that. What's this fuck from Elden Ring? And it's like, what's his name? Is it Joffrey, Jeffrey, Godric? That's it.
Yeah.
And like, dude, that boss in co-op was awful.
That was a terrible time.
That was awful.
It's almost unplayable in co-op, that boss.
Yeah, you're like, I honestly don't think you can beat that in co-op, man.
That might be the joke, honestly. That might be them just fucking with you.
Yeah, really. But yeah, I'm having a great time gaming. Yeah, and that's it. Who wants to go next? Or how about you, Hanley? Right. What are you playing? I'm curious what you're playing.
Oh, okay. Fine, sure. Well, I just recently played the Wolong demo. Wolong demo is pretty fun. I mean, I already played the demo before last year that they had, and it was and the first demo was fantastic. This one pretty much has you like at the start of the game. Really cool. definitely can't wait to play more. I haven't played co-op yet on this demo yet, but other than that, I recently beat Atomic Heart. That game was pretty good. Definitely want to talk about that maybe a little bit more later. And I'll also beat Hogwarts Legacy.
I'm still playing
this
that
weekend.
What the fuck? Sorry, Ham. Like, you just remind me of 2 games I'm like playing extensively, and I forgot to mention them. Sorry, keep going. Though.
Yeah,
I'm losing my mind.
NCAA 14. I've been playing that as well. I just purchased a couple games. I accidentally purchased Resistance 2. I say accidentally because I already own that game and I didn't remember.
Well, it's time to own it twice. That damn good.
Because you're a real PlayStation fan.
Yeah, I don't need 2 copies. Gamer. No, it's going back to the store.
I say you hang it up on the wall. Put it in a nice case.
I think
you're getting to that point. You're getting to that point where you're forgetting you have games now.
I need to do what you do, Twan, and have everything on a list. So then when I can go to the store, I can just scroll. After the show, or actually, since you don't have anything, DM me the app so I can see that and I can start working at it. I can start working on it and get everything in there. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been jamming on as of lately. I did also purchase Ultimate Spider-Man for the Xbox.
Ooh, I love that game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that a good game? I've never played it. I was just seen Spider-Man on Xbox and I was like, it's kind of like a weird collection.
Wait, wait a minute. Is Ultimate the cartoonish one? Or are we thinking of the
Ultimate Spider-Man is the one?
It's like Ultimate Alliance, but it's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
No, it's the one you can play as Venom as well. So
that game is fucking awesome. Some people don't like it, but I thought that game was fucking incredible. You're gonna love it, Am. I hope you do at least. You should stream that too.
It's right here. This one right here.
Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah, so this one, you switch between Venom and Spider-Man.
Gee, Xbox. Okay, I thought you were talking about 360.
That's the best version of the game too. You could play
it. You should totally stream that one. I think that'd be awesome to watch.
You said this one's the best version?
Yeah, it's the best version because it was on the PS2, it was on the GameCube as well. Just because the OG Xbox is just more. The OG Xbox was just
Xbox for man. The original Xbox was just fucking stupid.
I think a lot of people don't realize how much we played games at 60 FPS back before the 360
it was common.
It was actually common.
That was commonplace on the original Xbox.
And then they wanted games to be prettier, so then that yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to tell you what I've been playing.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
It runs good on the 360 Ultimate Spider-Man. So if you want to play on there, that's a good spot to play it as well.
Okay,
because it's backwards compatible.
Pickup Ham.
Well, I have both the 360 and the regular, so
it doesn't really matter. It's whatever floats your boat. I mean, do you have component cables? Do you have component cables for the OG Xbox? Because they could. I just got some right now recently.
Does he? I bet he has
I don't have component cables, but also the system selector doesn't allow component either that I have.
Oh, okay.
Selector.
What's that?
Even by the system selector.
Well, I run through everything through a system selector because I have
it's like a bunch.
So I have 8 different consoles hooked up to the same TV. And I don't have the component cables for that. And even if I did, I wouldn't be able to use them because of the system selector.
But what you could do is you could get a converter that converts a component to HDMI, and you could just do that, and that would look a lot better.
I mean, it would, but then I'd have to move my Xbox to a different TV. At that point, I might as well just get an HDMI cable for it.
Well, I mean, it's not gonna look
there are some good HDMI converter cables for sure. If you ever go down that route,
they're expensive for the Xbox.
They fucking are. Let's be real, they are.
The component cables, especially if you wanted to get the original component cables, those are pretty.
Did you just say it doesn't work though on his switcher thingy?
I'm saying if you were to get those cables.
Oh, okay. So you never got it. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. We're fine. Let's go ahead and move on though to I want to see what Matt's been up to as of lately before we get to Twan last because I got questions for Twan.
So I mean, just like Ham, I beat Atomic Heart. I got thoughts about that game. We'll be talking about that later. But Ham mentioned another game, like I definitely didn't expect him to mention, that I have been playing. I started playing it again last night, which is Resistance 2. Looks phenomenal. We were just talking about frame rates for a second, or games running well
Yeah.
or bad. Game looks fantastic. Runs terribly.
Yes.
It's atrocious. But it's no, this is a PS3 exclusive.
Yep.
Question, I don't
Oh,
mean to
sorry,
cut
yeah,
you
I'm
off,
sorry,
but did
sorry.
you ever play that game in its heyday during its online? It had some
Yes.
of the best
Yes.
online in a
It
game
was
I've ever fucking played.
that was the
What game are we
best
talking about?
Resistance.
Resistance.
Some of the best. It
This
was
one
my
right here.
first. Oh, sorry. Go
Yeah,
on,
it's a
Matt.
good
I'm
game.
not going to talk over you. Sorry.
It's like that's the best Sony's ever been, and hopefully they'll get back to it, but that's the best Sony's ever been at multiplayer.
Yeah.
That was like the only thing they had that could truly, I mean, it's hard to touch Halo at that specific time,
Yeah.
but that was like the one thing they had that kind of came close, and it
Yeah.
did a really good job. I
Wasn't the
hope
multiplayer 30 versus 30 or something like that?
it
Or
was
60,
huge. Yeah,
60,
it was
something like
it was
that.
a huge deal. Like it was so fun to play multiplayer. I wish they still had that multiplayer because I would genuinely, if those servers were still up, I'd play a few games. I would have no
Absolutely.
problem with that. But yeah, that game it's fantastic. Looks fantastic. I mean, the gameplay is surprisingly really good. It just happens to run terribly. They overdid it with the visuals on that game. But yeah, I've been playing that. I beat Atomic Heart. I'm also playing through Dishonored 2 again. I actually want to try that on Steam Deck. I'm probably gonna do that later.
Mhm.
But yeah, other than that, don't think I'm missing anything else. I'm kind of out for now on Hogwarts. I need to get back into it, but I feel like the whole conversation around it, plus I don't know, it just kind of. Plus, I got it spoiled for me. To be honest, I got the whole thing spoiled for me. So it's like I kind of lost
That kind of was a
enthusiasm
bit of a
for the
bummer for you.
game after that. And I feel like I need to give it some time, but I need to get back into that eventually as well. So
I will say, as someone that also had a bunch of things spoiled, not everything, mainly one big thingy, and that was we all know. But
yeah,
but outside of that, the way this game delivers its story, I think when you not say get over because that sounds harsh, but when you get in the mindset to play it again, you're gonna be like, I'm glad I came back because this game does such
I
a
hope so.
good
Yeah,
job. I mean, yeah, exactly. You might not, but
yeah.
but I
I mean,
feel
I'm
like
sure I will. I'm sure I will. It's just
the game
it
just
needs time.
the game does a really good job of like not making it feel like you're just playing to get to the end of something. You're there for the journey, which a lot of games don't, kind of get. So hopefully you get there, but I get it. Sorry, I'm going to stop fucking talking now.
You're good. But yeah, that's all I've really been playing. So we can go ahead and ask
All right,
Twan what he's been playing.
Before we go to Twan, I just wanted to shout out somebody that actually had me on their podcast right after bullsitting yesterday, or not yesterday, but the day before, and I didn't anticipate it, but 4GQ TV, really good dude within the community of gaming and whatnot. He had me on his podcast with super dope dude, this dude named Brian Hill. He is a writer for like the Titans TV show. And yeah. He does like the writing for that TV show that's on that's on HBO, which I didn't know, but like, and like I said, I got asked to be in this interview like last second. That dude's been a part of some pretty major things, but like I went and checked out his show that he written for, which was Titans, which is like pretty much Teen Titans but adult.
Okay.
Yeah.
And man, that show is rough. Like not rough in the sense of like bad, but in the sense of like graphic.
Oh, okay.
Like I seen like there's this part
like
where
it's violent.
And everything.
yes, there's this part where Robin busted out a window of this dude's car that he was chasing, and the dude was trying to like kill Rob, and he busted out his window. Robin grabbed his face, bashed it against the door, and on that window that was rolled, that was busted, he slid his face across it.
Ooh.
Let's go.
And I was just like,
That's
Robin. I was just like, Robin, what are you doing?
He's
I was like,
fucking his off stuff.
This dude's a savage, man. And I was just like, man,
maniac.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get into this because this is why I watch DC over Marvel. This is because of stuff like that. Like wow, this is really out of pocket, and there is nothing to laugh about here. There's no joke.
The joke is that his fucking life has been forever altered. That's the joke.
Pretty much, right? So, it was just I just wanted to throw that out there. It was really cool doing an interview with him, and shout out to 4GQ TV just for inviting me on. Although I had no idea what I was doing, but apparently I did a pretty good job asking questions and whatnot. But I do interviews on a regular, so fairly easy for me.
But, yeah.
Exactly. But anyways, Twan, I'm really excited to hear what you've been getting down on this week because, I mean, you got a piece of hardware that I'm really looking into possibly getting. Mm-hmm. This is your moment not to only just tell us what you've been playing, but also to possibly make a sale for Jimothy Ryan.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Don't worry, Jim. I got you, Jim.
Don't disappoint Jim.
Right. Hey, don't disappoint Jim. He might shut down the Xbox.
I don't even know where to start right now. So yeah, I got the I got the PSVR 2 right here. See? Look at that, all in its glory. The controls are over there. I'm gonna leave them there. But this thing right here, it's a massive upgrade over the original PlayStation VR. That thing was actually garbage. I'm gonna say it outright. You know, I mean, it had some good games.
Jim Ryan doesn't like the sound of that.
This is before Jim Ryan's time to.
But no, I know, but you don't just. Oh, actually, you know what? Anything that's older than him, he hates. Never mind. You're right.
Yes, exactly. There we go. But this product is all Jim Ryan right here. So he's gonna respect it.
Qualities.
But
can you feel him on your face when you have the headset on? Is it good? Is it that good? You can smell him. Oh yeah.
Does it smell like non-gamer?
Smells like movie game. I'm just kidding.
Anyways, continue.
All right. So yeah, the PSVR 1, it had some good games, but the actual hardware itself was just not that good. It was okay. It was like an entry-level VR headset. The move controllers were probably the worst part about it, in my opinion, because you had to have them set up with the camera. They'd always get out of sync.
Out of sync, out of sync, right?
So there's
pretty
very
good.
What you could actually do with those.
So, did anyone just pick up? I was on it. Was that?
What did I hear? That was Oh my god! That was.
Twan, you were okay. I was about to say. I thought I was the only one.
So
Twan was botting.
So what was it?
Yeah.
So was I out of sync as I was saying?
Saying out of sync.
As you were saying out of sync, it was fantastic.
Yeah, no, that was intentional.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway,
that was a paid promo by PlayStation.
So my point is that the controllers alone, I feel like just the new controllers that the PSVR 2 headset has, the controllers are just worth getting the headset alone for. Like that alone is like a massive upgrade to this thing, because especially since it's all tracked with the headset itself. It's built in, and even just setting the thing up, it's just one cord you plug into the front of the PS5 and you're good to go. Rather than the original VR where you have to have this box hooked up to it, you have to hook up the camera, and hook it up on your TV. It was just a lot more shit that you had to do to get the thing hooked up. So it's just the setup's easier. The hardware's a lot better. Like it's like 4K, OLED, 120 frames per second.
Let's go.
So like it's and the thing, and another thing is like you could actually even look behind you too. The PSVR 1, every time you look behind you,
I can do that for free. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the PSVR 1 wouldn't really be able to catch that because the camera would know where to detect it, right? Because it's not built in like the PSVR 2 is. But the point is, I'm saying is this is a lot better than the VR 1. Like it's an actual legitimate upgrade.
Well, talk to somebody like me that hasn't had the PlayStation VR 1, because I mean, like knowing that they had one. And that this was so much better than the last one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, means nothing to me. That means nothing.
That's totally fair.
I have the Oculus Quest 2, which this thing, can be hooked up to my PC, but also can be wireless. I know the PlayStation VR2 cannot be wireless. It has to be wired. I heard that there's a lot less wires than the first one, which is
it's just one wire. It's only just one wire. Then that's it. One wire, you hook up to the PS5 and you're good to go.
But tell me, like, what's so worth having this compared to the previous one, other than being able to look behind you?
Behind me. Like I said, the controllers, like that's the big one, right? For example, let's say if Gabe Newell wanted to put Half-Life on the PSVR 1, it would have been impossible. The controllers just would not have been able to do it. Like there's not enough buttons on the Move controllers. The movement you have on them it would just have been a really shitty version of the game. But with the VR2, like that would be completely possible because the technology is a lot better, and the controllers actually have the buttons needed to actually play the game. So, like I'm saying, there's a lot more potential for this thing because you could actually, you're not just going to get shittier versions of games that were designed with better VR controllers. Like I'm pretty sure the Oculus one that you have probably has pretty good controllers. I haven't seen the Oculus controls, so I'm not sure, but
it's comfortable. Has good amount of buttons on it. It's okay though.
Like, does it have like the joysticks on each side, or?
Yeah, it has joystick on both.
So like, because like most VR games would be built with those two joysticks in mind, right? But the thing is, the VR one didn't have that, right? So that's why it'd be a lot more limiting versus this.
How much did your VR headset cost, Ham? By the way, sorry, before I forget.
I bought it for $299. I want to say, and then
that's not bad at all.
But I think they raised the prices of them right after I purchased it.
God damn. Okay.
Because it was inflation, or.
But I don't know. They raised the prices, and then later PlayStation raised the prices, and slowly but surely you can start to see Xbox starting to raise some prices in some areas.
Countries. Yeah.
But the difference between the Xbox raise and like the PlayStation raise, or I guess Oculus or something like that, is that some of these places that are being raised in prices were already cheaper than America was.
Oh, okay.
For their prices. So
kind of leveling it out mostly in their price raises, I guess.
Yeah, so like Japan, for instance, they had a price increase for the Series S and Series X, but they were still, after the price increase, paying less than we were paying over here.
The yen is really weak right now. That's why. The yen itself is weak.
Yennefer is not weak.
Sorry?
Yeah, yen's a very strong woman.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the currency in Japan.
Yes,
Are you sure?
Are you sure? You're not talking about Yennefer from The Witcher?
No,
I'm not.
Twan's so confused right now. Go on. Continue.
Anyways, let's see. So, yeah, obviously.
What games are you playing right now? What games you got?
So right now, I'm going to be honest, I haven't played it too much. I'm mostly.
Oh my god, this man's advertising, telling me to go get it. He ain't even played no games. What up, Cozy Beluga in the chat?
Typical for the fan base.
She showed up just in time for this fake gamer to tell us why.
The first thing I played, the first thing that I played was Res Infinite. So what that is, it's basically they upgraded it. It was like a PS4 game, but it was originally a Sega Dreamcast game. It was like an on rails Sega Dreamcast game, and then they ported it to the PS4 as Res Infinite, and now they did a PS5 update to that version of the game. So now it's a lot better. You could actually use your eyes to track the enemies and shoot enemies with your eyes. Like, just how cool is that? You know, there's like the eye tracking actually works.
Twan's like, I can now play video games without really playing. You
could play video games by just looking at things. It's like you can like select menus with your eyes. And the thing is, like, at first when I heard about the eye tracking thing, I was like, okay, this thing's gonna be shit. It's not gonna work.
Do you blink to shoot? Like, how do you shoot with your eyes?
No, you can like use buttons to shoot.
You just gotta think really hard.
It's like aim. You're aiming with the eyes. It's like eye aiming, right? But
gotcha.
That's kind of dope, though. I ain't gonna lie.
It works.
That's kind of dope.
Like I thought I thought the eye tracking would be shit. Like honestly, I didn't have that high hopes for it. But it like when you look, it tracks it. Like it tracks it really well. Like I was shocked how well it tracked your eyes. And
I see
the thing
Paul.
is,
Hello, Paul.
and then I even took my headset off and I gave it to my friend because he was there because we were playing around with it yesterday. And the eye tracking worked instantly for him. He didn't even have to like mess around with it or adjust.
He didn't have to recalibrate it or nothing.
Yeah, and he was wearing glasses on top of that, and it was still working for him.
Perfect. You know? That's what's up.
So
there you go, Matt.
So there you go, Matt. So you're good to go. Yeah, so you can wear glasses with that thing.
That's good.
So
I'm glad.
But so yeah, the eye tracking is really nice, and so I played that Res Infinite. You know, it's a lot clearer, obviously, the image than playing on a PSVR 1. And even just I was playing with the controllers, they're a lot more accurate. Like I said, I already told you the controllers are better. And then after that, we played some GT7. And
there you go.
So I was gonna do Horizon today.
Can you drive with your eyes?
That's something.
That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I was playing GT. The showroom though, that thing was wild. Just going in the showroom, being next to like a Ford GT and like a Ferrari, that was pretty cool. It could be like we're like in Italy and shit. Like it just looks really cool. You know how VR is when you put that shit on. It looks sick. But I was gonna play Horizon today, but then this morning I was like, I'm gonna play some Burnout 3 on my Xbox, and I was only meant to do like 1 or 2 races, but I accidentally played it for the entire day. The game's just so good, Burnout 3.
Let's go.
Wait a second. So you just told me that, yo, man, Gran Turismo 7's dope. I looked around the showroom, but I played a lot of Burnout. Like, come on, man, what happened here?
No, I'm just talking about today.
Juan is stuck 15 years in the past perpetually. So I mean, he might not be the person to ask. He's perpetually 15 years behind us.
All right. One last thing I want to know before we move on. But the last question I got about this PlayStation VR headset is like, let's say you have kind of a tight room and you like to more or less play your VR sitting down. I know that the headset asks you if you're going to be playing standing up or sitting down in like most games, right? But what is the like let's say you have kind of a tight room, because I don't have like a crazy like big room to play in. And I'll probably be playing like sitting down if I were to get something like this. How comfortable would it be for somebody like myself that has like maybe 2 meters in front of me and, you know, comfortable sides, but it's more or less like, you know, the width of a couch?
Well, the thing is, it really depends on the game that you're playing, right? So if you're going to be playing something like Super Hot or something, you're going to need a bit more room for that, because you're going to be moving your arms around, you're going to be moving around physically. But like something like Gran Turismo 7, like you're going to be sitting down, you know, like unless you'd like to jump out of your seat for whatever reason. But yeah, like I said, it really depends.
Can I stand on the? Can I stand on the hood while I drive?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you probably have way more room to do that, but like just playing it normally, I mean, you should be fine. Like I said, it really depends on the game that you're playing. Some of them will make you move around a bit more. Some of them, you know, you'll have to sit down. But like even before you scan, like before you like get the setup process with the PSVR 2, it scans your entire room, and it even sets a playing field, so it'll let you know if you're out of that playing field, if you're gonna be, you know, oh, you're too much over here, you're too much over there. So it detects all that shit ahead of time. So I don't know if you're worried about smashing into things, because the console will let you know if you're about to smash into something. If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
well, it just allows you to smash into your Xbox. Just tells you to keep going.
You're
You're good.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
All right.
That's SpongeBob with the pirate ship. Sorry, go on.
I know, was that a satisfactory answer, or?
Yeah, that was good. That was good enough. I mean,
you just saw them on that mini computer more than anything.
I don't. I'm afraid I'm still kind of right back in the same spot I started.
The thing is, though, what's really gonna matter for the PSVR 2 is the software that comes out for it, right? That's what's
Yeah.
really gonna matter at the end of the day. So, like for example, I'll say this all the time: the PSVR 1 is worth getting just for Astrobot alone.
Oh my
That's
God.
it for me. Like, I would recommend someone go out and spend $200 just to play that game. Like, it's worth it in my opinion. Like, but
There you
anyway,
go.
that matters. You know, that's just what it is. It like the software is just that really important, and I can't see the future. I don't know what's gonna come up for this thing in the future, but who knows? It's like that's what you get for being an early adopter, I guess. You know, is you kind of have to like take risks. Yeah.
Good point.
I hear that. All right. Well, let's keep it moving. Matt, you got a little bit of news for us that you have a list of. So go on ahead and let us know where
do.
you'd like to start.
I do. I want to ask you guys real quick before we actually dive into real news. Did you guys see Destiny 2 tweeting out the custom Xbox controllers?
Yeah, that was funny.
I th- I saw Vinny's post and he's like, "This is like when your girlfriend does OnlyFans or something."
Yeah, I saw that. That was funny. That was funny.
I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, there's actually a good amount of news. I was kind of underestimating it before the show. So I wanted to start with the fact that EA is doing polls, and I know this particularly because I actually filled out the poll last night. They're doing polls asking people if they'd like a Dead Space 2 and 3 remake in a similar vein to Dead Space 1's remake.
Okay.
Now, for me, obviously, I said, hell yes, please, give me more of that. Now, I figured I'd ask you guys, specifically you, Tuan, and Mike. Ham's played Dead Space, but he hasn't played the remake yet.
I beat
Would
it.
you?
I beat it, so I beat the
Yeah,
game.
you beat it.
Yeah.
Would you guys like Dead Space 2 and 3 remade in the same way Dead Space 1 was remade? Because I'm all for it.
Personally,
all
I
for
think
it.
the first remake should be fucking deleted off the planet. Personally,
Mike,
no.
okay, let's talk to Tuan now.
I'm just kidding. No, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, I think Dead Space 3 needs it so fucking bad from
Dead
what
Space
I
3 needs to
heard.
be a brand new game. That's what
Yeah,
Dead Space
like
3 needs
that.
to be.
100%.
That needs to be like new, like now.
100%. I
Um,
1000% agree with that. And they also, I want to bring this up before you guys go. They also, in that same poll, I got the question, would I be interested in a new Dead Space game in general? So they're definitely testing the waters. So yeah, I'm sorry. You guys keep going though.
yeah, I mean, I mean, it'd be only kind of smart to, you know, make a remake of the second one and a third one or a new one, or if they decide not to do a 2 and 3 remake, at least make a new Dead Space. Or I feel like I mean, Dead Space has always been a popular gaming series in its own right, and I think they did a great job of bringing the first one to new audiences in such a good way. So
Yeah,
fuck it, give us more remakes or bring us a new one.
I 100% agree with you. What about you, Tuan?
So the thing about Dead Space 2 is I feel like it doesn't really need a remake as much as Dead Space 1 needed a remake. Like I feel
Heard a
like
lot
even
of
most
people
of the
say that.
stuff that yeah, because the most of the stuff most of the stuff that Dead Space remake added most of the stuff that Dead Space remake added was stuff that was pulled from Dead Space 2. Like it was all, the for example, the zero gravity stuff, that was more of a, they just took what worked in Dead Space 2, what they fixed in that game from the first game, and they basically just put that in the Dead Space remake. So like personally, I'd prefer a brand new game over the remake. But like, if I'm not going to get anything, 2 and 3 remake would be nice to have as well. But I'd rather have a new one
I understand
instead,
that.
if that
I
makes sense,
definitely understand that.
right?
I think it's. Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going.
Oh no, I mean you could go, you could go.
I was just. I was just saying. Like, I definitely understand that where you're coming from on that. It sounds like. I mean, what they're doing. It sounds like they're going to do the remakes, and it sounds like
Mhm.
if they go as planned, we will be getting a new Dead
Mhm.
Space. I'm hoping,
Yeah, so I
fingers
guess if
crossed.
yeah.
I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they do two. They add story, add context like they did with one. They added a bunch of story that wasn't initially there that actually helps the original story. And then they do 3 completely remake 3. Like 3 is an entirely different game now. Because that needs it more than anything. And then once
100%.
those get positive feedback, or if they get the positive feedback they want, then hopefully we get a new Dead Space. That's what I'm hoping for. Because a new Dead Space is really what I want. But if it takes another 2 remakes to get
Yeah.
it, then fuck it. I'll play the 2 remakes. I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, fingers crossed we get new Dead
Yeah,
Space.
but I'm just, I'm just worried that, who knows if unless they could keep it going where people are hyped and then, they both do well, right? Because I'm scared maybe, the second game might do well and the third remake might not go as well, and then they might be like, fuck, making a Dead Space 4, right? Rather than it being
Yeah.
safe and just going straight to a new one, if that makes any sense, right?
That does
Just
make
more
sense.
risks. Right, it's just more
It
risks,
is.
because now they gotta both do good, right? Because if one of them fail, EA's gonna be like, oh, no one wants to play this franchise anymore, then it's fucking cancel it.
That is fair. That is actually a fair way to say it.
That's very
is
fair
right.
because it is EA, and EA will.
Right.
I mean, we almost had a
abandon
Titanfall game
something
that
if
played
it-
like Doom Eternal. So
Yeah.
I mean, like, and that's fucking gone. I don't want to talk. I'm gonna get mad if I think about that.
They will
get mad.
abandon something if it doesn't perform basically up to par with Apex Legends,
Yeah, pretty
which
much.
is
Yeah.
which is just insane. So yeah, hopefully if they do the remakes, then they're
Hopefully they do well,
well
because we just
received.
gotta bank on them doing well, right? So if they don't do
Fingers,
well, we could kiss a new Dead Space goodbye, right? I'd
Which
rather
is
than just not
just-
risk it, just rather make a new game.
which
So
is
I don't know. That's
just
just
that
the
would
way
be
I look at it.
fucking wild.
Because
It'd be
they canceled
insane.
Dead Space already. They could cancel it again,
They
So-
fucking. I'll tell you, they better. I mean, they. God damn it, they better not.
It's fucking
They better
EA,
not
man.
do that shit.
To be
But
fair,
yeah,
I feel like
it
EA's
is EA.
definitely been a lot better. EA's been a lot better than they have been in recent years. So
See, that's the thing.
give 'em
That's
that.
my hope, because EA and it's for me. It starts with. I mean, I know a lot of people. It starts before Dead Space remake, but with Dead Space remake, they just it is one of the best games I've ever played.
Yeah.
Just in general, and it's like it's the best remake I've ever played, hands down. That's not really close. It's like it's such a well-made game, and if they keep with that same pattern or formula, I feel like it'd be very difficult to mess up a remake for 2 and 3, let alone a brand new game.
Three's gonna need a lot of work though. That's the thing.
It will.
Like
It
I'm
will.
really
It
worried
will.
That's a
about three.
complete restructuring of a game.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's the new. Maybe that's the new game. Maybe that's basically the new
Yeah.
game.
That
It's
actually would be
Yeah,
very,
yeah.
very, 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 very fucking smart.
It would be.
They should actually really find a way to retcon the fuck out of Dead Space 3 and somehow get the word 3 in there and make it a new ass story, because I think that'd be a brilliant way to do it, personally.
I 100% agree with that, and I'm hoping that's what they do, because Dead Space deserves. I mean, if Resident Evil's having the resurgence it's having, then Dead Space sure as fuck can do it.
Yeah.
Surely. But yeah, that's the first thing I want to talk about. Ham, do you have? I mean, we didn't even end well of you on that. Do you have anything to say about that?
I mean, the more Dead Space, the better.
I agree.
He's not wrong. Yeah.
That's really all I
1000%
got
agree
to
with
say
that.
about that. Like, I'm not like an avid day one of all Dead Spaces, but one thing I do know when I see it is a good quality game, and that is what I've seen from Dead Space consistently, other than 3 that I've never played and everybody seems to complain about. But Dead Space 1 and 2, fantastic games. I'm enjoying Dead Space 2. I just haven't got crazy far in it quite yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, Dead Space 2 is my favorite, by the way. So
Well, yeah, that's
hopefully
like
you
most
enjoy
people's
that.
favorite. Yeah.
Dude, it's such a good game.
Have you ever
but-
played Dead Space Extraction before?
No, is that the mobile thing?
No, Dead Space Extraction is the one that it's like a light gun game. It was on the Wii.
No, I haven't.
then they-
That sounds
then-
incredible. What? Okay. I
Yeah,
gotta
and then
listen
they
to that.
brought it. They even brought it onto the PS3 as well. They ported it to the PS3 when they got the Move controllers. So
Oh,
but
I need to-
it's
I need to
actually
hunt that down.
included. Like if you actually buy Dead Space 2, the limited edition on the PlayStation 3, it includes that game version of the game on the disc.
I need to
So
hunt
that might be
that's-
something I could get that. I'd have to find some Move
Yeah.
controllers, but I
Yeah,
that
You
could
can get this for
I-
cheap nowadays.
And
Yeah, I could
apparently
get
it's
that.
really good. It is really good. The game too. So
I'm-
that's really good.
I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna look
Yeah.
into that because that sounds
So yeah, you can play on the
interesting.
PS3 if you get the Move controllers.
All
make
right.
sure if you do get move controllers, make sure that they're the PlayStation 3 move controllers, because if you get the PS4 ones designed with the PS
There's
Move, they're not going to
PS4
work.
move controllers. They were
Yeah,
still doing that on the PS4?
yeah. So there's move controllers that are designed with the PS4, and if you try to use those on the PS3, they're not going to work.
Just blows up. Just kills the
They
PS3.
just won't connect.
Makes you buy a PS5.
The way you could tell is if you look at the if you look at the charging port, and if it's the micro USB instead of the PS3 one, then it's not going to work. You have to make sure the charging port is the PS3 one. That's like a good way to check.
That sounds like something someone's gonna try to scam people on eBay, and I'm not thrilled about that. But I'll look into it. I will definitely look into it. But up next, I feel like we should talk a little bit, because we hinted at it in the intros. We should talk a little bit about Atomic Heart, because I mean, Ham's beat it, I've beat it. Mike, you're playing it.
Yeah,
Twan, have you played Atomic Heart?
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna mention this during when we're talking about what we played, but unfortunately I didn't get around to playing that.
Do you even have it?
Well, I mean, I got Game Pass.
Oh yeah, you have Game Pass. That's
So,
fair.
yeah.
All right, so Ham's beat it. Mike, you're playing it. I beat it. Ham, I want to hear what you thought, because you beat it. You sound like you had some things to say. You had a lot of thoughts on it. So what do you think about Atomic Heart?
I thought it was a really fun game that kind of missed some pretty key things, but all in all, I had a really good time, and I would like to see them continue. That is Munfish, whether it's with Atomic Heart 2, or I'd just like to see what else that they could do. Either one is fine with me. But what they did show me they could do is bring a lot of things to life, quality wise. But as for some of the things that they really missed on, in my opinion, I really wish there was a fast travel.
Oh,
yeah.
I really wish that there was fast travel, because like there is the game, the gun that I missed out on the Kalash, and I was never able to get it again. Because my buddy was like, yo, it's here. I just picked it up right here. And I was like, oh, I don't know how to get back over there, because the train that I just rode in on broke.
One way? Or yeah.
So it was kind of a one way.
Yeah.
There is. I did find another Kalash. I swear I found another one somewhere. But
I did too.
You probably did. You probably did. Matt said he did too.
They need to make a fast travel. They do. I agree with that. I agree.
And
sorry, go on.
And yeah, so like I wish there was a fast travel. The cars braking after a side swipe is just ridiculous.
Yep.
Like that was probably some of the worst driving I've ever had in a video game.
I agree with that.
Even worse than Deer Simulator.
See, I mean, I don't know. I didn't play Deer Simulator.
No, we played it. We played all that. Remember playing? We did that for.
You're talking about that deer game. No, we'll see that. This game is. I mean, that's a totally different kind. No, it doesn't, because that budget is nothing in comparison to Atomic Heart. Atomic Heart is like up there in like money spent to make a game and seriousness and story and everything. So to get the car that you get in that game, it just kind of felt it just felt out of place. And why is this thing breaking so easy? I'm able to run over a bot, but if I touch a wall, my car's on fire.
Did you run over me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was that. I didn't really like that much. It was fine because because I played worse, but I wish there was a little bit. I don't know. I guess the save system was okay. The save system was okay as long as you remembered to backtrack to the save. If you murdered all the enemies on screen or within the area, you just backtrack and go to a save point. You're fine. But there'd be some times I would just wish that it would autosave after I got done like crafting stuff.
Ooh.
So like you get done crafting and making your gun and making all the bullets, and if you walk out the door and die, then you got to recraft all that stuff again. It was the same frustration that I had with Callisto Protocol, but at least in this game it didn't offer me to save and not actually do it. So it gets a plus in that in that direction. But yeah, it just kind of reminds you, hey, you just need to. So it's not as big of a problem as I'd say the last two that I brought up are, because it's more or less kind of your fault if you forget to save. But it would have been nice to have just that feature of saved game as soon as you leave the vending machine or something like that, just so you didn't have to go through that whole thing.
Would it be all right if I like put a little like tidbit in about the whole save system real quick, if you don't mind?
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah.
Is that I almost kind of feel like there's in certain areas, I almost feel like there's too many fucking vending machines.
You're right.
Like I swear to God, like I walk down a hall, vending machine. I walk down another hall, vending machine. I walk down another hall, vending machine. And like, I'm not saying I don't appreciate it because I burn through ammo and resources like a motherfucker. But I just kind of feel like some more scarcity would go a long way. Like you said, I agree with the save system. I hate when you craft something and then it doesn't say. I hate that. Fucking hate that. But yeah, it's weird. It's kind of like I feel like there's some dungeons you go into and it's like you do one thing. Here's a save system. You go do this. There's another save. There's another vending machine. Another one. Another one. Here's the sexy one. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. You know what I'm saying? It's like here's the one that's thirsty or whatever. And it's weird. It's like I feel like every other second you're finding these safe rooms that are godsends in their own right, but I feel like you're almost seeing one like every other hallway, and it's kind of weird. I don't know. Just my opinion.
Fair.
Interesting.
All right, but yeah, I think that's kind of for the most part it. I guess they could have did. I mean, if I'm gonna be really nitpicky, it would be like some of the game will kind of go without prompts for a long time to the point that you don't know what you're doing. And you're just kind of running in circles for a long time. I had that happen to me 2 or 3 different times where I'm just like anticipating a prompt or like any sort of direction at all, and there's none. And it's just like, what the hell am I supposed to be doing? Or what am so I don't know. I think that's kind of a little thing to look at. But other than that, you know, all in all, I had a really good time playing this game. I thought the graphics were phenomenal. The feel of swinging around your weapon was pretty good. The shooting was really fun. Sometimes it felt like I was kind of just shooting a little, like not doing a whole lot of other things. Because when you get to some of the bosses, your extra energy thing is sometimes like nullified, so you can't even use it. So you go to like use like the electric thing to lift them up, and if you don't have that leveled up enough, you can find yourself just shooting and dodging for 20 minutes, and that's it. So there is sometimes where it feels like, I'm doing the same thing over and over and over for like 20 minutes. I could see how that can get kind of old, but if you upgrade yourself properly and get your stuff together, that being like a canister to put into your gun to give yourself fire, electricity, or frost or whatever, it can make the experience. And I tell you what, if you don't use those things, those cartridges to put into your gun, you're gonna have a freaking long day with a lot of these bosses.
Those help a lot. You should definitely be doing that, and also scan your bosses for their weaknesses, because that'll help you with the cartridges. Which cartridge do I use? Ice? Do I use electric? Do I use fire? It's gonna help you a lot. Always use your scanner.
Yep, because at the first boss, I was like, man, that took up all my weaponry. And then I realized towards the end of the fight, when I actually used one of the capsules and put it into my gun, I was like, wow, that's ripping him to shreds. So then when I eventually let him kill me because I was like out of weapons, restarted, I used like a third of what I used previously to knock him out because I actually used the right capsule for my gun. So very important to do that type of stuff in that game. Don't skimp out. I'm very good at skimping and trying to save too much, but that game encourages you to use your stuff. Use all of it.
Yeah.
Use all of it. You'll replace it later. Just use it now. I feel like that probably is the one thing that separates that game from a lot of games is it's just like, yo, you don't have a crazy amount of storage space, but we're begging you to use it all because we'll just refill it right back up.
Yeah. That's totally true.
I'm done.
All right, Mike, you want to go? Because I got a lot to say.
I'll make it quick because I feel like a lot of him, like other than that whole, what was I just saying about the save points, like every other 5 seconds? I mean, the manual ones. I really enjoyed the game. It's really fun. I feel like its map system needs an overhaul.
Yeah.
Like it needs to do a better job showing you where you are. Sometimes, like Matt said, it doesn't come up like where you are for like 10 seconds. You kind of have to do some guesstimation work. It doesn't. For some reason, there's no track waypoint. You can't put your own waypoint down unless I'm mistaken. Because
you can't.
It's not a huge map, but it's not small either. For what it is, it's not small. It's decent. It's not like an open world. It's more like open hub area. The combat's fun. The story so far is good. I feel like a lot of the random dialogues are hit and miss, but I feel like a lot of the cutscenes I've seen are really, really good. Obviously there's some jank to it, of course, but it is what it is. But I personally think it I think so far the story, I think I'm about the halfway point right now, a little over the halfway point. Like you said, Matt, somewhere around the halfway point. And so right now I'm just going back and doing some dungeons just for the hell of it. I want to experience the game as much as I can. Yeah, it's great, fucking crispy ass critters and all that. Oh my god, I've never heard someone say their catchphrase more in my entire life than this motherfucker said it in the first hour.
That's a fact. Oh my god, that's a fact. Oh my god,
a fucking banger of a catchphrase.
The thing is, right? At first I was like, oh man, this catchphrase is stupid. I'm like, I don't think I even give a shit with the catchphrase. I think it's the fact he says it every 5 seconds. I think that's why I hate it.
I use that in my I've been talking to my mom and said crispy critters. She's like,
oh
what
my
the
god,
fuck
I'm
are
like
you talking about?
Kick your ass.
She's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like,
get his ass. All right, but
I don't know.
You're like, I don't even know anymore. But yeah, it's fucking crispy critters. Anyways, fuck me. What was I saying?
You're talking about the dialogue.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. There's some really deep stuff. Like there's some really good stuff when he's talking to what's his name, Charles the Glove.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Charles? Yeah. Is that the name of the glove?
Charles. Yeah, it's Charles.
Charles. It's like when he's talking to it about the government and capitalists, and he's like, we're not so different from them. Our government isn't really happy when everyone's exactly equal and all them fucking bastardizing that quote. But it's a really good quote. There's a lot of that in the game. There's a lot of making the main character question himself. Like he gives him some pretty deep questions he has to come to terms with. Like he questions his friend, Dr. I don't know what the hell the name of the scientist is. Shneznov. Is that it? Sechenov. He says a lot of things like, hey, why the hell do you think he programmed the robots to be able to do this? You think do you think he really wants to be in control by anyone? Does anyone else want to control him? Does he want to be, he says all these really, I don't want to say too many spoiler things there, but a lot of heavy kind of not just in the terms of the video game, but in the terms of the world that actually exists. Your guy would be going off ranting about capitalists and imperialists, and he's like, we're not that different. How we run, we're not that different. We have someone in charge too, just like them. We have our problems just like them. And it's like your guy has to kind of he's like, oh yeah, I guess you're kind of right. And it
constantly figuring things out.
And it's really, I love that. I really love that because I think that's some of the best dialogue in this game is where it makes you just question. It even makes you even question things. And I like that. I really like that because it's not too on the nose. It's just kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
Well,
And
see,
sorry,
well,
go
if you don't mind me cutting in real quick, what like one thing that I've been seeing throughout a lot of a few different reviews is like they're like, man, your main protagonist, he's an idiot. He's kind of stupid, and I'm just like, yeah, he is. You nailed it. He's an idiot. He is an idiot. You know why?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know what the hell happened to him. He doesn't know what
Exactly.
the hell happened to him. He's trying to figure out
Basically
what.
brainwashed.
Exactly. He's brainwashed. He has no idea what he's really doing stuff for, and he unfortunately is blindly following
This man
and
that's safe.
an ideal and everything that was set for him, and
Yeah.
he and the whole the whole point of the game is you're uncovering why he is who he is and where he actually is needed and what his point is for survival. So like if you're harping on the game because the guy's an idiot, well, you kind of nailed it. He is an idiot.
Yeah.
He's stupid as hell. But at the same time, he's still a soldier. So he's carrying out his duties. He's just trying to figure out why he's doing it. And once you get to the end, it has a fantastic job of wrapping everything up.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I gotta get back to playing it tonight.
It wraps up everything so well, and like I'm not just saying that just to say it. I'm saying that because I was in and out of the story like mentally. Sometimes I was like, I'm really with it, and sometimes I was just like, I don't really care about what they're talking about. But by the end of it, it all came together, and I was just like, wow, I did not pay 100% attention to all this, but I still can catch the drift of what's happening. I still have some sort of feeling about this. I don't feel very blah after. I feel kind of like, damn, this idiot really didn't know. Like that's the end. That's what I felt like by the end. And then all I gotta say to Matt is the girl in the elevator, bro. Bro,
Rough.
That shit
good.
was something, man. That shit was something. She was so disappointed. She was so disappointed.
Now. Not now. It's a great scene. It's a great scene. What's that, Mike?
I wanted to comment on one thing because for some reason there's people out there that think this game is glorifying
Which
Soviet
is so
era
wrong.
Russia.
Which is so wrong.
I don't think if someone paid attention for the first 5 minutes of the game, you will hear people complaining about how their social credit is too low. I don't remember what it was. I remember just walking down the street, like, I wish my social credit was higher so I could get into insert this. And then you'll find people, you know how you can approach a dead body and you can read their mind or like, you know what I mean, connect to their little robot thing.
Yep.
And there's this one lady that said, the only reason I was here today is because my social credit was too low and I was trying to get overtime to raise it. I died because of trying to raise my social credit. And that's not like a main story point. That's like a side body you find early on in the game. That has nothing to do with the main quest at all. And it's like, I don't think people understand is that, it looks all cool and futuristic, but that's what they want you to see. And that's what the point of the story is trying to tell you is that these things can look fucking fantastic on the surface, but at the very core of what makes it what it is evil. It's dark. It's twisted. It's villain. It's awful. It might look cool on the surface, but it will always go to shit. It always is shit. It always has been shit. There's always an ulterior motive for something looking the way it is. It's the same thing with BioShock Infinite. It's the same thing with the original BioShocks. There's a reason things look so perfect on the surface, but they're not. There's a reason why they look perfect. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why, because the amount of control over the civilian population. And that's what the game was trying to show you early on in the first 10 minutes. And then your guy also coming to terms with the fact that average people had to live like that. He's like, I didn't He's like, I didn't know that. It's
Yeah.
it's so fucking lazy, and it makes me so angry because this is stuff that actually happens in communist countries already, but people think this game is glorifying it because it just simply is a cool aesthetic. Like, I'm sorry, the aesthetic is
Yeah.
cool, but the world is actually awful, and they try to let you know that periodically.
I don't see how you play this game for 20 minutes and you're like, yeah, they're glorifying. There is nothing glorious about that world.
Yeah, it's
like you play it and you're just like, I don't want to be here. Like
Yep.
I never want to be here. So if you play that game and get out of it, man, they really are making you want to be part of it. No. There is
Yep.
no possible way in the world I'd want to even be even remotely at that kind of place.
Yeah.
Like the sense of, I put it like I did like I guess you could kind of call it a review, like a huge thread about the game. The sense of like just overwhelming. You talked about it too, Ham, when we were playing the first night. Just you feel dread. Every like foot you move ahead, you just feel uneasy. Like it's not scary. It's not a horror game by any means. It's just it's just not comfortable. It's uncomfortable. You feel uncomfortable at like every point throughout the game. And I was talking to him. I was like, I felt more uncomfortable playing this game than I did playing Dead Space. Dead Space is much scarier than this game, but this is like scarier in a sense of like what the fuck. Like this whole world is really fucked. Like this is a really fucked up world. I just want like I beat it. I think right now for me, granted a lot of games come out this year, so you know it's probably going to be toppled. Realistically, right now this is my game of the year.
Really?
It was just about everything I was hoping it would be. There are things that are wrong with it, and to point those out, I do want to just like I guess kind of nitpick. And the reason I'm like a little easier on them is because this is their first ever game. I did the same thing with Callisto. I was a little easier on Callisto because it was their first ever game. But things like New Game Plus, there's no reason New Game Plus shouldn't be in there. Especially with the kind of game that it is, with the abilities, the weapon upgrades. By the time you get to the end of the game and you have all the stuff, you're like, fuck, now I can really do things, and then the game's over. And it's like, oh, all right, I guess that's that. That kind of sucks. What Ham was talking about, the driving in the game, just get fast travel. Or make the driving good.
Yeah.
Because it feels like, what it feels like is they made this whole thing and they're like, oh shit, we don't have fast traveling. We need a way to get around cars. And they just threw it in there at the last second. That's what it feels like. Because the cars really don't feel good to drive at all in that game. I'm trying to think of like anything else I would knock it for. Like the dialogue, it's weird, like Mike said. The dialogue in certain points is so well written and so well acted. But there's also points like crispy critters. Just dude says crispy critters for like no reason. He calls people crispy ass critter. It's like I don't know,
Stop.
like it's weird. It's just weird. Like I've never been so conflicted by a game. I posted. It's like the most unique game I've ever played. I've never felt. I'll compare it to Heavenly Sword. I don't know if any of you have played Heavenly Sword.
I've seen it. I've never played
But
it.
Heavenly Sword has.
That's on the PS3. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually still need to beat it. I'm stuck on the last boss. I need to beat that boss. But its story is so weird in that there's so many parts of it that are really serious, really emotional, and then there's parts where I think the acting is just like they just say cheesy shit. They just say off the wall cheesy corny shit that's meant to be off the wall cheesy and corny. And then somebody will die. And then it's like, well, what the fuck just happened? Like I'm laughing, but I'm also like, what the fuck was that? So that's kind of like what Atomic Heart's like. And then on top of all that, you've got the combat, which is just fucking spectacular. Like I really enjoyed the combat in that game. The soundtrack in that game, Mick Gordon's a fucking Mick Gordon is a fucking genius. I don't get it honestly how he does it. He's out of his fucking mind. And then and then you've got the general aesthetic of the world. Like Mike was saying, everything in that game looks like if everything was working as it was supposed to be working, that game would be such a beautiful aesthetic. But the fact that everything is came like crashing down, robots now just kill people. It's like robots are just like you'll go into facilities, robots are just spinning around, and if you get in that circle, you're gonna die, pretty much. They're just spinning around endlessly until the end of time. So it's like it's such a trippy world. It's such a trippy world. I think it's my game of the year. I loved it. I can see how people didn't like it. That's totally fair. I don't think that's a game for everybody. Um, but yeah, the reviews where people were talking about it glorifies Soviet Russia. It's just like, dude, you guys didn't spend any time with us. You certainly didn't beat the game. You certainly didn't beat the game if that's what you're thinking, because there's nothing in that glorifies Soviet Russia in any way, what shape or form. And in fact, it paints it in a pretty awful light, a pretty awful light. So I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. I tried to keep it short, but I got rambling. But yeah, that's what I think about it. Twan, you haven't played it yet. Are you planning?
I want to. I definitely want to give it a shot, especially since you said it's your game of the year. I mean, that's definitely pretty interesting, right?
I feel like I'm probably I feel like I'm probably a rare breed in that case. I don't think this is going to be many people.
He's a rare breed when it comes to saying this is game of the year, because it's not there for me at all.
It's not even close for you.
Yeah, I don't think
I wouldn't say it's not even close, but I mean, it's more deserving than Stray. I mean, I'll put that on record and say that, in my opinion. But
you think this is worth a nominee? Would you say
no? It's not going to get nominated.
But would I even put this above Hi-Fi Rush?
God,
probably
no.
not.
Well, I mean, I'm biased though, but
no. I'm dead serious when I say probably not. I probably wouldn't put this over Hi-Fi Rush, although the combat is more entertaining than Hi-Fi Rush.
Well, for you.
For me, it is.
Twan's like
for me, yeah, correct. But I don't know. It's just a little bit more fun shooting guns and watching things explode than it is hitting stuff with a guitar and watching them explode. I mean, it's cool and all still, but as for like the whole package, I think Hi-Fi Rush has more of a full package than
Atomic Heart does.
Than Atomic Heart did. More or less the sense of like like I can see anybody playing Hi-Fi Rush and having a good time. I couldn't see anybody or everybody playing Atomic Heart and having the same feeling.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
That's kind of where I'm at with that.
Yeah. That he's not lying. Like, you might play this game and hate it, and you'd be totally valid in that feeling, because that's how a lot of people feel about this game. Like, they play it and they're just like, "What the fuck is this?" Yeah. And that's totally
a very different game, that's for sure, from the looks.
Exactly, and that's what I rate. Like, for me, I've been waiting for this game since fucking I think they first showed it in 2016, like towards the end of 2016. I've been waiting for this game forever. I got the fucking special edition. I got the little poster right there. I got the art book. I got like the package it came in. Like,
you have your poster up? Where?
Yeah, it's that little poster right here.
Yeah, I see it.
You need to get better lights. God damn it, Matt! You need to get better lights.
Well, if I turn lights on, then yeah, but I do. I would like to get. Maybe when I move, whenever I move, I'd like to have like lights under stuff like that, so it shines.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that just with like I don't know. We'll talk about that later. But anyways, Atomic Heart, I thought it was fantastic, but like I said, definitely not for everybody. But
yeah,
I mean, I think the reason I say that is just because of how emotional that game is. And I could see how a lot of people wouldn't like all of that and trying to put together that dude's life compared to, as I said, Hi-Fi Rush, where it felt very relaxed, chill, fun, goofy.
Just a fun time.
It's not always fun. It's very stressful.
Yeah, can be.
And like when that game came out, I mainly called Atomic Heart Atomic Stress. That's what I called it.
Atomic Stress.
It is.
Because
It is a stressful game. It is.
It
Like it is
Yeah.
stressful.
like as Matt was saying when he is like referring to something I was saying earlier, like the game, it will terrify you at the beginning. Like it almost like, and it's not terrifying like a scary game. It's terrifying like in suspense of where it's just like I don't know what's gonna happen when I turn this corner, and I could get jumped by like 20 robots if I
Yeah.
play this specific area wrong. If I don't take out specific key things,
Yeah.
this fight will just go on forever. I will
Also-
run out of everything before this fight's over.
100%. It's also the fact that if you're in a dungeon, you got to worry about that. And while you're worrying about it, you'll walk into a room and they're playing like Russian house music. And
Yeah.
it's just the beats going fucking insane. And you're just on edge. Like, what the fuck is happening? What happened in here? And all you hear is the beat just, and it's like, I've never played a game like that. I've never
Or
played a
like
game
there's like
that.
orchestra music. Like
Yeah.
it's like what is?
It,
Why?
It's so strange. But if you enjoyed BioShock, I'd say Tuan, then I think it's definitely worth.
Yeah, I'll definitely
Checking
give it a go at some point. I just say I gotta lie. I still gotta try a lot of stuff on this VR headset. Still haven't got around to doing that.
That's
Oh yeah,
totally fair.
it's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
And
I
for a
don't
while.
think it's gonna leave Game Pass anytime soon.
Not for a while.
no.
Yeah,
But we
we'll
should
see. I'll
probably move on. We've been on
Oh, we
for
should.
like 45 minutes.
We should. Up next, Starfield leaks, which is not so much the game leaking. Although there was that one screenshot that turned out to be an AI generated like screenshot of a trailer, which was hilarious. But that was like last week. But more so to do with the fact that the showcase seems to be coming up, or the announcement of the showcase seems to be coming up very soon. I don't know if you guys saw, but a few people. In fact, I saw Jeff Grubb, I think, tweet about it today. He mentioned Starfield today. Andy Robinson over at VGC News tweeted, he here's the announcement for Starfield showcase is imminent. So that was last week. And if he's tweeting that last week, I'm just assuming it's this week. Who knows though? Maybe it's not this week, but it's people are talking about it, and it seems like it's going to be this week. So what do you? I want to ask, when do you guys think the showcase is? Knowing absolutely nothing, when do you guys think the showcase is?
Today.
Right?
in the next
right
next
now.
2 hours.
It's as soon as this podcast is over. Phil Spencer's
Yeah.
waiting for us to wrap this
No,
up.
it's happening right now. We're missing it.
Yep.
We are the Starfield podcast.
Yeah, we're actually the opener.
We're gonna show it
to
off
the-
right
Yeah.
now.
to the showcase. We're the opener.
I'm hoping it's early March. I know they probably want to build up hype for weeks in advance. I get it, but like I don't want to wait till like fucking then they shadow drop it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, next
That'd
week
be
they're
fucking
gonna
crazy.
yeah,
That's
next
not
week they're gonna
happening.
shadow drop Starfield next week.
Starfield.
You'll hear it here.
Sheffield Field. Just kidding.
Starfield.
Starfield. I'm losing my mind. Yeah. I hope that it's early in March. I think some rumors were saying somewhere in the middle of March though, so I'm just gonna assume it's sometime in the middle of March, like late middle March.
That sounds about reasonable.
I'm just gonna hope it's March 16th. I hope everything that releases this year releases on March 16th. I fucking hope.
Just everything.
I hope so too. So you can't afford it all, bud. I hope so.
Mike, I'm gonna force you to buy it all for me, but
Yeah, sure.
you're gonna actually buy everything for me, Mike. And I appreciate
all right,
it.
that makes
But,
sense. All right, you're welcome.
But yeah, I would assume it's probably gonna be mid-March. But I think we're getting the announcement this week. And I think what Mike said he doesn't want to happen is what's going to happen. They're gonna announce it this week, do a few weeks of marketing, and then we'll get the event. And hopefully we get that June release date. Wouldn't that be something?
That'd be
I don't
nice.
know. But yeah, what are you guys thinking? Ham,
maybe
Twan?
maybe they'll do like a Nintendo Direct thing where they'll announce the event the day before it happens. We're like tomorrow.
That would be
we have
amazing.
showcase,
That would be amazing. They also there's also a few things they could announce at this, because obviously Starfield is Starfield, But Bethesda also needs to tell us when the Fallout 4 next gen update is coming.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So I mean, maybe that'll be there in some sort of capacity. Who knows? But Ham, what do you think? When do you think we'll be seeing this?
I think we'll get an announcement. I don't want to say this week. I want to say next week. I'm hoping it's this week.
Yeah,
But I want to say that we'll get something next week when we're in a full week of March. And it'll be like slated for like the end of March. Like the last week of March to have the announcement. That's just kind of where my head's at. I feel like they might do like a similar time of month as they did for like the developer direct back in January.
Yeah,
just like welcome to just kind of like welcome to spring kind of thing, and
I can see that for sure.
Or better yet, they could do like mid-April. Really. I mean, it seems like it's pushed, yeah, but January also isn't the beginning of winter. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the way I'm kind of thinking that they may space this thing, where it's like maybe the second month into the I don't know, into the season or something like that. Kind of like January is the second month into winter.
Okay. I mean, I think it's possible. I think it's definitely possible that April's on the table for the showcase. I'm just hoping. I just want to see this game. But yeah,
I've had enough.
I don't know.
I hear you. I've had enough.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm like, I know I'm gonna get it, and I'm hoping when you show it, I'm hoping you show collector's edition. I mean, you got to have something. Whether that's, I don't know if I'm gonna buy a Series X collector's edition because I don't need another Series X. But if they do like a collector's edition or something for this game, I'll happily get it. I just need to know that it's there. Just show me it's there. Show me that I can buy it, please, because I would like to do that. But other than that, I want to see the game. I want to see the gameplay, and I'm also hoping. I have a video talking about this tomorrow, but just to talk about it for a second, I'm hoping they clarify, which they probably won't. Almost certainly won't. I'm hoping they clarify whether it's 60 or 30 FPS on console, because I want that conversation out of the way before this launches. I don't want this game to launch and then people find out it's 30 FPS on console, because then if it's a great game, then the conversation stops being about it being a great game, and it's just about, oh, it's 30 FPS, it's garbage. Mm-hmm. Or if it's a bad game, nobody talks about why it's bad. It's just it's 30 FPS, it's garbage. Like, I want to be able to have a real conversation about it when it comes out, as opposed to just it's 30 or 60 FPS. So I'm hoping they get that out of the way now, so people can either cheer or have a panic attack about it now, and then we can enjoy it when it launches.
They get that discussion out of the way. Frames. You know.
I mean, hey, I'm all for that.
Yeah, man, if they can optimize it that well, that'd be nice.
That would be amazing. I'm expecting it to be 30 FPS. I'm fully expecting that. I'll be pleasantly surprised. I'll be thrilled if it's 60, but I'm fully expecting it to be 30 FPS on console.
Would you be willing to play it in 30?
Yes. On console? I played every Bethesda game at 30 FPS on console at some point. That also, I mean, I'll still play it on PC whenever I'm at my desk, so that's always an option. But like, I played Fallout 4 on the VCR Xbox One, ran like shit, and I had a blast. So it does not bother.
I guess it's not really the type of games where you have to have like quick reflexes.
Exactly. Right? If it was multiplayer, that'd be a whole different story. But just a regular single player RPG, it does not bother me at all. But yeah, that's the Starfield leak. We already kind of talked about the PSVR 2 talk. Twan's the only person that can really talk about that. What's that?
Well, knowing the creation engine, I'll be lucky if I could even play it at 60 FPS.
Honestly,
I'm telling you, Fallout 4 on my PC, Mike. If you're outside of the city, runs great. If you're in the middle of the city, I'm on a 3070, Mike. If you're in the middle of the city, I'm getting like anywhere from like 20 to 60 FPS.
Oh my god. I gotta try out Fallout 4. I gotta see what's the story here.
It's a clusterfuck, and God forbid if you're using visual mods. If you're using visual mods, then you're just fucking stupid, honestly.
Like,
You're just,
what's your I know it's not even you. It's the fucking.
It's not
game.
the CPU.
It's a bad port. It's not
the CPU. It's not a great port.
You
But
think
yeah,
Bethesda would have like the most focus on a PC version of the game?
I mean, they
Well,
might have to now. Like,
yeah, they focus on the P. It's just the creation engine, especially for Fallout 4, was just it's their worst iteration of the creation engine. Fallout 4 was. It was their worst one yet. Same with Fallout 76. Me and Ham played a little bit Fallout 76. And that first night we played, I thought my shit was broken. It was just stuttering. It was just constant stuttering. I was like, this shit's, I think my GPU's fried or something.
yeah.
Nope, it's just broken. Just a broken game. But yeah, that is the Starfield leaks. Like I said, we already touched on the PSVR 2 stuff. That's all
Yeah,
Twan's
get it, Ham.
department. Yeah, Ham's already committed. He's buying that
Yeah, Ham's
immediately
already-
after the
yeah.
show.
I don't know what we're talking about.
He's
How you getting
saying,
a VR?
he's DM'd me. He's in my DMs. He's saying he's gonna get it right after the
I'm
show.
in your DMs. I'm just hanging out in there.
Oh God.
But as for like just to wrap up that Starfield thing, I just wanted to say that like if it is 30 FPS, I 100% agree. I think and not just 30 FPS or just really anything that's wrong. I feel like, yo, Xbox, please just get in front of the gun.
Please.
Yeah. Just like, please don't wait until we find out. Like, if
Yeah.
you know, just let everybody know because
Get that
this
shit out of
is
the way.
this isn't like Grounded or something like
No.
that. Like, this is like a
No.
game that could make or break a
Generation,
a-
maybe.
Platform, like,
I mean, yeah, this could really like. I mean, the way you guys set this up was like a make or break kind of situation, and so like, please give it the TLC it deserves, or else if you come out and this thing's a crapshoot, and we're finding everything out on the fly, it's going to tell us a lot about the maturity in the direction that you guys have taken the last few years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As an Xbox fan, all I'm asking for is preparation.
Yeah.
Just some sort of transparency. Just like, I mean, we'll find out when Digital Foundry does its thing, but like, preferably let's find out before that. So when Digital Foundry does do its thing, first of all, they're not getting harassed by fucking toxic fanboys, but then also that I can get on Twitter and talk about how good or bad the game is and why it's good or bad, as opposed to it's 30 FPS, it's bad, it doesn't matter if it's good or not. It's still bad. Like, I don't want to, I know that conversation is going to happen, and I just dread it. I absolutely dread it. But moving on, final thing to talk about, I feel like we have to at least touch on kind of the deals between Microsoft and Nvidia and Nintendo. I mean, because that's some huge fucking news that I did not expect. I did not expect to see that at all this week. But
And Nvidia's now like, yeah, we're totally for it.
It happened.
Let's go.
Yeah, now you got Nvidia, which is really your only. I mean, people can say Amazon Luna all they want.
Yeah.
You got Nvidia, which is really your only competitor in cloud. Your direct competitor in cloud gaming is now in favor of the deal. So that takes away regulators' ability to be like, oh, this is gonna harm growth in the cloud space.
Nope.
No, Nvidia's all for it. That's like their real only competitor. They're ecstatic about this. They love it.
Yeah.
And then they're also helping out a direct competitor in the console space, Nintendo, which Nintendo doesn't need help. They're fucking thriving. They're thriving by all means.
They haven't even had Call of Duty on the Switch up to this point.
Yeah, they haven't had Call of Duty in over a decade at this point. It's
The last time
like,
Call of Duty was on Nintendo was on the Wii U. That was the last time they ever had Call of Duty.
Yeah, and it's like now, I was telling Mike, if somebody plays Nintendo mainly and they have like a PS4 or an Xbox One to play COD with their friends, now this reality is going to be they don't need a PS4. They don't need a PS4, they don't need a PlayStation or Xbox or anything. They'll just get a Nintendo now. once the next Nintendo comes out, whatever that's going to be. But it's like now you can just play everything on your Nintendo, which is directly opposing what Microsoft should want. So the fact that they're doing all this, it's like I don't know how you argue this deal is anti-competitive. I mean, Sony will, and they've even said they want to put it in PS Plus, Call of Duty. They've said it. They've
Yeah, they told
announced
them we'll let you
they're
do it.
willing. Yeah,
Let's do it.
they said we'll give you a deal to put it in PS Plus. Like we don't care.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you argue against this deal in good faith. Obviously, they're going to find a way to do it, but I don't know how you do it in good faith and say this is bad for gaming. I just want to throw this topic out there because I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it. What were your initial reactions when you saw this news? Because I woke up from my sleep to go to the bathroom. I looked at my phone real quick and I saw it, and I couldn't get back to sleep for like an hour. I was
Matt
just
was
like, what
angry
the
that the deal might pass now. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I was curious. I I had to get on my alt accounts and start harassing Xbox. But but yeah, what do you guys think about all this?
I'm gonna go first and just get mine out of the way. I think this is awesome. The deal for Nintendo, I believe, is just for Call of Duty, pretty much.
Yeah, I thought I saw someone say it wasn't, but I'm not sure. It seems like it's just for Call of Duty.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
Activision stuff. Yeah.
yeah, it's more or less for like Activision stuff. You're not going to see like
Hi-Fi
Hellblade
Rush.
on
Yeah.
or Hi-Fi Rush or anything on Nintendo. You're not going to see that, but it's more or less just for like pretty much whatever happens in the court hearing with Activision is going to be able to go into Nintendo. And then the NVIDIA stuff is more or less for like more Xbox titles and
Yep.
Activision stuff. So
It's
that's
everything
really
they make on PC.
exactly. So that one's a little bit more interesting, I guess. But I think this is awesome for the fact that I want to be able to play more things on all of my devices instead of just one device or something like that. So this spreads it out. This gives more use to this gives more use to my Switch than I had before. That's a that's a W. All right.
Yeah.
Also for like PC and stuff like that, like now I'm kind of interested in trying this cloud gaming for NVIDIA.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot
to
to
me
say
it
about
just
that
gives to me it just gives me more interest. So I'm happy to see something like this go through. I think it's weird that somehow some people think it's bad or have what about meism with this, like, oh yeah, since Xbox is giving them games, what aren't they giving me? They should have Zelda come to Xbox.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you're out of your freaking mind. Like that's not,
that's not how it
that's
works.
not what this is. That's not what this is for. To be honest, to be frank, this deal is just for Xbox to pretty much say, hey, we're getting this deal done legitimately. That's the only reason that they're really doing this at all. They're not doing it to appease Nintendo. They're doing this to appease the people that are going to slam down the gavel and say whether they can get this or not. But like all around, I'm happier with it. More ways to play some great games. I don't see how anybody could hate that. I'm done.
I 1,000% agree. What about who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Juan? All right.
The first thing I heard about this when they said they're going to bring Call of Duty games to the Switch, I was like, how? Like, how are they going to bring it to the Switch? Because I mean, are they going to like do like a Black Ops Declassified situation, or they just have like a completely separate version of the game, or are they going to just put older Call of Duty games on the Switch?
Didn't
like,
the contract say it's the same exact game?
Yeah, they said it's parity, so it's going to be parity with Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Switches, or not Switch. I think it's a new Nintendo console. Whenever that contract ends with Sony and Microsoft's really in charge of Call of Duty, I think by then Nintendo will have whatever comes next out, and then Call of Duty will be on that thing.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Switch 2 or whatever.
yeah, whatever or just a console companion to the Switch, like something.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really cool if they did something a companion to the Switch that was more powerful, but you could still play Switch games on it.
Okay, you mean like kind of like with how the 3DS was like with the Wii U kind of thing?
Just yeah, like how there's an Xbox One X to the Xbox One.
Oh, that. Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
I can see what you're talking
like
about.
something
Yeah.
like that would be great. But yeah, keep going, Tuan. Sorry.
But yeah, that was my main thing was just like I wonder how they're gonna get it on there. But who
Yeah.
knows how long they'll have to wait because I think this year we're not getting a Call of Duty, right? Or it's gonna get delayed.
Apparently not. They might change
So
that though, from what I've heard. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
thinking that they're changing that. I think Sledgehammer is actually working on possibly getting a game out this year.
also just gonna whip one out real quick, just
That's
That's what
unfortunate for
it's looking
Sledgehammer.
like,
yeah.
but I don't know for sure. Those are just rumors. But
Yeah,
continue.
we'll see. Yeah, and they obviously that Nvidia thing's huge. Obviously, like there's just like I said, direct competitor, right? They can't
Yeah.
say anything about the cloud space. And what else? And yeah, some people were even were wondering about the whole. I think Ham already touched up on this. How it's probably just going to be Activision games, but some people saying like, oh, it's going to be Xbox games. So
On
a lot of
Nintendo,
us,
it
a
seems to be
lot,
just Activision.
yeah, but I'm not sure. Is that actually confirmed though? If it was
Well,
specifically
see, I
Activision
don't
games
know
though?
because I saw people saying, "Is this just Activision?" And then I
Yeah,
saw a journalist, I can't remember who, saying
yeah.
to clarify, it is Xbox and Activision. But I only saw one person say that, so
Mhm.
I don't
So
know. I can't say.
who knows what could be included in that if it's
Yeah,
just Activision. So that would be pretty big if it was other Xbox games too, other than
that'd be
Activision games,
huge. That'd be
right?
insane.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we don't know too much, right? But it is pretty insane. And then the other thing I'm actually worried about is just the 10-year deal, right? That they
it's
have
10
with
years.
Nintendo. So what happens after that 10 years? Is Call of Duty going to be exclusive, or is just everything is up in the
Well,
air at that point?
I'm
that's
sure
the
it'll be
argument people.
contract based. I'm sure it'll be
Yeah,
Exactly.
contract based, just like 10 years. I
yeah,
mean, I feel like you can't make like a lifetime contract for something
Yep.
yeah.
as for something that could go up or could go down. Like,
So
and I
quick.
think that's almost, and I mean, this might sound silly, but I think this is good for the person that is signing on to be part of the contract. So a Nintendo, a Sony. If Call of Duty looks like it's going downhill, why would you want to resign?
Yeah.
Exactly. Plus, then that's just Microsoft losing money, pumping out a game that, if nobody wants it, you're pumping out a game on everything
Mhm.
all the time. So it's like that just hurts you as well. So you're not going to sign a huge, crazy contract. 10 years is crazy. That's insane.
That's a lot of time. That's a lot
I
of time.
honestly think this whole Call of Duty thing for Switch is going to be via cloud, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
I see. I'm hoping
I
not.
I I
I
wouldn't be surprised to see that because I recently read an article that says like a recent leak from the UK's CMA Competition and Marketing Authority suggests that the upcoming system will feature content available through the current Switch online services, despite the Nintendo Switch being nearly 6 years old and no successor announcement made. It's almost certain that Nintendo will release a new system in the not so distant future with a consider of the success that it currently has, and they're talking about possibly having like Switch Online having like expansion packs and also possibly having a dedicated kind of cloud service, which would make sense with Xbox trying to, give some to Nintendo as well. What would be the easiest way to do that? Possibly, maybe cloud over an actual full game.
or a full
And
port,
seeing that
right?
Switch isn't exactly, I feel like this is kind of a toe dip move for Switch.
Yeah.
I feel like the best case scenario for Call of Duty on the Switch is honestly just to bring the older games over to it. Like bring Black Ops on
That'd
there,
be
Modern
great.
Warfare 2. Like that'd be pretty cool. Imagine playing like Black Ops on the Switch, Black Ops 2 on the Switch. I feel like that's probably the best case scenario because I know the Switch would be able to run those, right? Like,
But if they did that, wouldn't you think? Wouldn't you think if they gave you all of that availability, it'd probably be over a cloud than over separate releases of the game for you to purchase?
Like if they had the older ones as well?
Yeah.
I don't know because I know the Switch would be able to run those games, right? Like the newer games, I can understand why those would be cloud. Like people, I could just see a lot of people getting pissed off. Like, well, why are these games cloud? Right? They should be native ports because you know.
Yeah,
Right?
the only reason I don't think it's cloud, I mean, I guess it technically could be. It's just the fact that they mentioned parity and the thing with Call of Duty is multiplayer for a lot of people, and it's like playing multiplayer via cloud. It's like, yeah, you can say it's there on the Switch now because it's on there
Yeah.
via cloud, but it's like it's not really there if it's on there via
Yeah.
cloud. Especially because multiplayer is the big draw. It's like nobody can play multiplayer.
Eh.
Call
But
of Duty multiplayer.
how about like Guardians of the Galaxy for the Switch? It's there. But
Yeah, it is,
what
and
version is it?
I
That's the
don't know. I
cloud
think isn't
version.
it just like
I'm
like
pretty
a
sure
PC
that's
version?
just a cloud.
Yeah, it's a cloud version.
Yeah, but I'm saying
It
like
is the cloud.
multiplayer. That game's not multiplayer.
Yeah.
We have no
Like-
idea how they consider what do they consider parity is what Matt's saying. What
Yeah,
do they
it's like-
consider?
No, I get
Native.
what he's saying.
Oh.
Because like
But-
Guardians of the Galaxy is a whole different thing. Like same with Control. You can play Control over cloud on the Switch. That's not
Yeah.
gonna hurt your
I think
experience.
even the Resident Evil games recently got a cloud version on the
Yeah.
Switch as well.
That's fine. Like if you're just bringing the single player over, then fine, whatever, have at it. But they're saying it's content parity across all systems, which is like suggests multiplayer accessibility. And that just doesn't seem to me like that would really work over cloud. I mean, it would technically, but it wouldn't be good at all.
It wouldn't
Nobody
be
would
good.
use that.
Like you'd have input lag for streaming the game, and then you'd have lag
general
on
input
top
lag.
of the
Yeah.
then you'd have the lag for the multiplayer. You have lag on top of lag. You know,
It would be not
Yeah.
ideal. So I that's why I think they would announce a new Nintendo console. But then again, Nintendo's Nintendo. They don't need a new Nintendo console.
knows?
They could milk the Switch for another 10 fucking years. Nobody would care.
yeah. I feel like they're
It's-
just riding this wave right now.
Yeah, so it's like who knows, but I don't know. I think it would have to be on new hardware.
I feel like
I don't
after
know.
Zelda, we'll see something, some kind of new Nintendo product because I feel like Zelda's
I hope
probably
so.
they're like
They don't-
encore for the Switch.
Yeah,
I hope
they,
so.
They don't want any attention detracted from Zelda. They just want Zelda. You know, people buy it, and then okay, now here's the Switch too. You know, just to have all the
That-
hype focused on Zelda.
Kind of like they did with Breath of the Wild and the Wii U, and then they went straight into the Switch
Yeah,
right after
that-
right after Breath of the Wild.
100%, and that would be great because then it's like here's the new hardware. If you like Zelda and you want to play it better, then it works on this too. That would be awesome. I don't see why they haven't done that already, but I guess maybe that's just part of their plan.
I feel like they want people to double dip as much as possible, so they're going to announce this game, have it come out first, and then 6 months to a year later, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we got a brand new version of the Switch or whatever, and you can play this game up-resed and everything. It's going to look better." And you're going to be like, "Oh crap, I got to buy this version too," even though I
And
just
they
beat
are-
the other one.
And they
I really
are
think they'll
going
do
to
that.
charge you twice for that.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
absolutely.
What's funny is
$70 twice.
yeah, and what's funny about that is I didn't even think about getting charged twice for that because, like on Xbox and sometimes on PlayStation as well, you get the upgrade for free, and Nintendo's not giving you that upgrade. They
Oh,
are
yeah,
not
they're-
giving you that
they're-
upgrade. They're
That's not
charging you
happening.
twice, and
That's not
Nintendo might fuck around and be the first person to charge $80 for a game. They like Nintendo's weird. Like they'll do something like that. So it's like
Yeah, I can see that.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that
And who knows?
probably is
Knowing
what they're
Nintendo,
gonna do.
it might not even be backwards compatible too. The new console.
That's
for all we know.
that's the thing. I was banking on it being backwards compatible, and knowing Nintendo, it just might not be. It
Yeah.
just might not be. So,
Nintendo's pretty good about backwards compatibility. They just weren't this generation as much. Or
Well,
I'd
yeah,
say
it was
maybe
a
even the
different
Wii
format,
U, but the Wii was very backwards compatible.
the Wii
Well,
was
yeah,
great.
The Wii was backwards compatible with the GameCube, but certain models got rid of it. The backwards compatibility.
Which is
GameCube.
insane.
But then the Wii U was obviously backwards compatible for the Wii. So I mean, they're usually good with supporting the previous console usually. But
Yeah,
obviously with the Switch, the format was different, right? You couldn't just put a Wii U disc in a Switch. That just wouldn't work. Plus, you had the 2 screens with the Wii U. It would have been a mess to try to get that shit to work on the Switch. At least
that's fair. Hopefully they figure that out. Hopefully they stick to those
So,
cartridges then, because
obviously
oh,
they just
Oh.
ported a bunch of games and stuff. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yep.
Oh, what?
Oh,
Oh, what?
Canada can it? Can it?
Oh,
Can
God,
it?
Twan was botting for a second there. You okay there,
Why am
bud?
I still botting?
No, you're
Am I
good now. You're good now. But
Okay,
yeah,
good.
that's really
You hear what I
all.
said?
I caught the last end of that, the very end of that.
Okay, all right. That's good enough then.
All right, so that's really all I've got for topics this week. I mean, I guess we can move on to take of the week now. I mean, I've got a take. I don't know if you guys got takes, but
Not
saw-
really.
I
Go
saw-
ahead, Matt.
I saw a pretty interesting take that was kind of baffling. This guy, I'm not even gonna name him because he doesn't deserve the shout
Oh, I
out.
think I already know who it is.
But
I think I already know who it is.
this person tweets, "Hey guys, anybody want to take a guess at why Atomic Heart is such a fucking breath of fresh air in the absolute pile of pig
I know
diarrhea
who this is.
that
I
is
know who this is.
modern AAA
Yo.
single player games? Any guesses? Anybody want to guess?" And it's just a picture of a bunch of white dudes,
Oh man.
and I was like, okay, that's pretty.
This
That's
guy, he had a long ass thread too. Like
Dude.
this was a long thread.
like
It
an
was like-
a long unhinged thread, because I saw that and I was like, okay, this guy's insane. I clicked
Yeah.
on it because I'm like, I like this. How many likes does this have? This can't have many likes. I'm wrong. It has 8,000 likes now.
That's insane.
But he's on a thread. Like, this thread is nuts. He's replying to people. Like, it's just. I'm trying to find his thread. Oh my god, 137 replies. But yeah, he's like throughout his thread, he's talking like, if a girl has
blue hair in sight.
yeah.
he's
if
like,
you have blue hair, you're depressed.
he's like, if a girl has like, if a girl shaves her hair to her head, then it's mental instability and she's not capable of creating games and she shouldn't be working. I'm just like, dude, you're actually insane.
Yeah.
It's like a tweet of like 80 tweets, like a thread of like 80 tweets that are just him unhinged, kind of racist too, a little bit racist,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
mostly just sexist, just
Yeah.
an unhinged, insane barrage of tweets. I've never seen anything quite like it. But yeah, that's my take of the week. The guy is a fucking dipshit. Atomic Heart was great, but I don't think it had anything to do with the amount of blue hair to not blue hair ratio in the studio. But that's just me. But
That's just me. That's
yeah,
my normal human being take.
yeah, I don't think it affected their ability to create the game. But yeah, does anybody else have a take of the week?
Well, Mike, I know you have one.
I did.
Well, I know you were complaining about someone earlier today.
Oh,
Mike.
what? Just that guy that he was a
Is that
massive PlayStation. Oh, fuck it. I'll talk about it for a second. He was a massive PlayStation fanboy. Now, apparently, he's been for nearly a year now. I guess. I don't know what the fuck this guy's problem is building a gaming PC, and he's bragging to people how it's a 4090 and it's leagues above everyone else's computer, even though it's not even fucking done yet. And how everyone's so stuck in the past with whatever they're using. And I'm like, talk about like having that PlayStation. I mean, how about not even PlayStation fanboy? How about having that console fanboy mindset and then dragging it over to PC? His rig, I did the math. I think it's somewhere like around $3,000, $4,000 or more because of the parts he bought. Like, not master anything. That's just you being fucking having a ton of fucking money and having to prove yourself to, I don't know, someone somewhere. I guess I don't know.
That's just insecurity.
It's exactly. He's like
Insecure.
he was like, people were applying to him, arguing like, "What's your fucking rig?" like I'm like, dude, you don't even have a rig. Like, you have computer parts. That's completely different. Yeah, maybe in 7 months he'll be able to finally find. I don't know what's taken him over like 7 months to build a computer, but it is what it is. Yeah, I don't know. That shit just pisses me off. I really hate people that have that. That's literally just an exposable income versus people that have to be within a budget. It's literally like more of a not I want to say poverty, but it's like a like almost like it's treated a lot like a well stats thing. And I remember, like I was saying to you, Matt, it makes me upset because PC gaming was kind of like always known as the thing where you just felt good. Game ran on your computer. It just felt great knowing you could play it on there. And now it's like,
Not for that
especially with,
guy.
it's tough for that. Yeah,
it's
it's
like
like
Not
it's like
for
a
that
dick
guy.
measuring contest.
yeah,
you know?
exactly.
That guy needs the best PC, and if he doesn't have it, then he's insignificant.
Yeah, they insignificant.
Then he
Like
doesn't matter.
he was like literally arguing with someone that has the same rig I had. That, and he's like, it's fucking a piece of shit. It's stupid and useless. It's like literally like 40% more powerful than the current gen consoles. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like it's like, or like 40%, somewhere in that fucking. He's like saying how useless and I'm like, dude, you're fucking like, well, one, you don't know how tech works. First of all, new shit's coming out all the time. If he's talking about new shit coming out, his rig's already fucking obsolete. There's already something else that's replaced everything he's put in his computer outside of the video card. So he's bottlenecked now, according to him. Yeah, it's just it's fucking stupid, and I hate it. That's all I got to say. I hate that like dick measuring contest bullshit.
I agree. Why you, Swan? Got a take?
I feel like I had one, but I don't know. I've been trying to not be on Twitter as much as possible. So
That's probably healthy.
So
Yeah,
That's
it's
probably
nuts about
healthy.
Nvidia though, and the fact that their $20 streaming tier has a 4080 with a top of the line processor. That is fucking nuts to me. That's really.
I feel like there was something about Atomic Heart that I'm forgetting about that I saw a take on.
You probably did.
There was that one guy that was blocking everyone. That was pretty funny.
Oh my god, Sergey, whatever his name was.
Yeah, he blocked me. I never even had an interaction with the guy, but yeah, he blocked me.
He blocked me as well, and like, I mean, it's funny because doesn't he have the same exact name as the main character of the game? I'm pretty sure it might be spelled differently.
Sergey,
yeah, that's fucking funny. I love that. I love that so much. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, it's deserved. But Ham, you don't have one. I think we can move on to overrated, underrated. Anyone have a game for overrated, underrated?
Underrated Hogwarts. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. Nobody's talking about Hogwarts.
It only made $850 million.
Super underrated.
And that dude, it's not even on the new console, on last gen or the Switch yet. Like it's gonna be fucking insane.
It will be. I don't have an overrated, underrated, so I don't know about you guys. If you guys don't have one, then I feel like we can wrap it.
I could probably look at something right here. Let's see.
I feel like you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, we can wrap it.
You don't wait until the question comes and then you start looking around your room.
It's force out a random Sega Genesis game. I'm just kidding.
You don't gotta do that, Swan.
No.
Let's go ahead. You're good. Oh my god.
Oh, Swan.
Please, God. Okay.
Right, here, I'll this is actually a pretty good one here. So this one, this game all
the way up.
So this game right here, this is Cruising on the Wii. So,
oh my god.
So a lot.
I'm not mad at that choice.
So this game right here, like if you check people like back when this game came out, it has like I think it has like a 20% on Metacritic. I think. Like
Jesus
this game
Christ, that's a banger.
Best game ever made.
This game got fucking bombed when it came out.
I gotta see it.
But this game here, it's actually not that bad. Like it's so what it actually is. I'm not sure if you're aware of the Fast and Furious arcade game.
Yeah,
like the Raw Thrills one.
I am.
This is literally a direct port of that game. This graphics are a little scaled down, but this is literally all the tracks, all the cars, but without the Fast and Furious license. That's what this game is. And unfortunately, it's only the motion controls, right? So you have to use the steering wheel to actually play the game. But the steering wheel controls are actually really tight. Like they work really well. I was actually surprised at how well that was implemented. So I mean, if you like the Fast and Furious arcade game, you're gonna like this because it's literally the exact same game. But I'm not sure why it got bombed so hard. Like it's not that bad of a game. I mean, it's a little bit of like a scaled back port, but other than that, the game is still the same, and it's fun. It's not a 20% on Metacritic. Like it's not broken or anything. Like the game functions.
Is it a 25% on Metacritic? Because
Well, it's probably it's definitely bad. It's in the red. I know it's like 20 something. It's in the red. Like it's really bad from what I've heard. But
I'm watching. Oh my god, I
but
don't
I
know.
mean,
That looks like it's bugged.
no,
Uh,
it functions. It's like it functions. It's a fun. It's not
oh well, then
broken.
this is a messed up video then.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but
that
yeah, but
that looks
that's my
interesting.
yeah. I mean, people say it's garbage. I think it's fine. You know, like maybe like for like an afternoon, you could get some fun out of that. But that's about
God
it.
bless.
Yeah.
God bless. I mean, as long as you're having fun.
All right, gentlemen, let's get up out of here. I actually got to eat dinner and get
I
some
feel
stuff taken care of. But it was an amazing show as usual. Thanks everybody for coming through. Those of you that did, and then also those of you that are watching it afterwards. We appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for coming through this evening or whenever. Let's go on ahead and do outros. So Matt, go on ahead and go first.
At Matt Likes Games on Twitter, you can check me out there, and then Matt Likes Games on YouTube. Videos Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Mondays through
So
Friday.
check. Yeah, videos Monday, but yeah, Mondays to Friday. Videos are every day, Mondays to Friday. Check it out, YouTube and Twitter.
All right, Twan.
All right. You can find me here every Sunday on this show, and I'm on Twitter.
Every day.
It's me Twan. Yeah, at It's Me Twan. That's my Twitter, and I'm still haven't given up on YouTube. I'm still working on something. It's just taking a little longer than usual. I'm just changing a few things around, but I'm still working on it. It's coming. So look out
Nice.
for that. Look out for that.
Sounds good.
You only have a few
Gotcha.
months left to get that 5 million subscribers or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be tough, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Exactly. It's gonna
All
happen.
right,
believe in you, Twan.
Mike. How about you, bud?
You can find me on Twitter at Hard Days Mike and on Twitch at Hard Days Mike. I'm trying to stream more, but I'm just fucking lazy. But yeah.
That's
Well,
good.
we're all lazy. Well, at least I'm lazy.
Oh, we know Twan. I'm just kidding.
All right, and then I guess I'll go last. Ham Solo 05 Gaming. You can find me here every Sunday on TSWS Gaming on YouTube. That's my channel. And then on Twitter, you can find me at Ham Solo 05 Gaming. Thanks everybody for showing up. We will see you guys next Sunday, same time, same place. Take it easy. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Crispy critters.